Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like in a blink of an eye, in one night, Bronson Reed is doomed. What we are talking about, you're going to have to wait and find out. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is your NXT review on Tuesday, June 29th, 2021, right here back on the Big Fight Field channel, back with Cameron Johnson on the Big Fight Field channel talking about NXT. We are exactly 1 week away until the Great American Bash, and what I thought tonight was a very good show. I thought it wasn't better than last week's show by any means, but I thought tonight was a very good show, and I was entertained. We had some good in-ring action in the opener and the ending. The middle was kind of filler, besides a couple segments which we'll talk about. But overall, I thought it was a very good show. Cameron, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, my good brother Joe? What's going on, brother Joe? Always glad to be picking on the Big Fight Field channel as always. And NXT, like you said, I thought it was a good show. I thought it was a good show. I didn't think it was on the caliber of shows like last week and the week before that. But the most important thing I think the most important thing is is that you start strong and that you end strong. And I thought that's what they did here tonight. I thought the opener, although a bit clunky in some spots, I thought the opener was a lot of fun. And I thought the ending was a lot of fun too. So overall, NXT, another good show. Another good show for NXT.
Absolutely, man. And another big important question is, are you sold on next week with the Great American Bash? Because right now, I think I am.
I am sold on the Great American Bash, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait. This Great American Bash show is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of kick-ass matches, man, for the Great American Bash. His next week is going to be a lot of fun, and next week is just the beginning. And next week is just the beginning for the greatness that is to come in July. If you are a wrestling fan, the month of July is a month. A month of July is a month that you should absolutely be waiting for. Not only do we have Great American Bash, which is going to be a great show. We have Money in the Bank, Road Rager, Fighter Fest, Fight for the Fallen. So with all those shows happening in the month of July. The month of July is going to be a great show, man. The month of July is looking absolutely stacked. It's going to be great, and it starts with the Great American Bash next week. So NXT is going to have to set the table for the rest of the wrestling world next week, and I think they'll do that, man. Because this show is looking absolutely incredible.
I like it, and they're very good at it too. When it comes to them setting the table, I do trust Triple H and all of them to go ahead and do that. But yes, you gotta want to stay tuned for the end of the video, because once we're done talking about NXT, we're gonna do brief predictions for next week's show. So if you want to hear that, stay to the end of this video. But before we get into the NXT review, if you guys have not already, be sure to go check out last Friday's SmackDown review here on the Big Fight Field channel, and then last night's Monday Night Raw review, which, believe it or not, man, can't believe I'm saying it, Cam, wasn't a bad show last night.
It really wasn't.
Wasn't a bad
show. That shocked me too, man. I was like, damn, this show was actually okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty okay show. It doesn't solve any problems, though. One okay show is not the problem to all the solutions, but it was an okay show. Now, before we talk about the review tonight, the show, NXT, Friday, I gave my thoughts on this, and now tonight it's your turn. Friday, we had a batch of releases from 205 Live and NXT with, I'm not going to name all the guys, but some of the bigger names on this field were Tyler Breeze. I know how sad you are, man. Tyler Breeze and Fandango, Breezango. Killian Dane was let go. Marina Shafir, she was rumored to be in Diamond Mine, and now she's not. She doesn't have a job now. So, what a change of events that is. Tony Nese is gone. Arya Davari's gone. The Singh brothers, Sunil and Samir Singh, They are gone, and those are just some of the bigger names in this field that were let go. And I want to hear your thoughts on these releases that happened Friday.
I don't think. For starters, I don't think Triple H is really consulted on a lot of the releases, especially the NXT releases or the 205 Live releases, which it should be because NXT is his jurisdiction. So I think a lot of the names released tonight prove that Triple H really doesn't have a whole Triple H really is not given a lot of it's not really given a lot of say into who gets released. Them releasing an entire roster 205 Live. I don't think 205 Live was a necessary show to have. Was a necessary show to have. If anything, I think the 205. If anything, I think they would have been better taking the 205 Live guys and integrating them into NXT for that cruiserweight division. But they just released an entire roster of guys, which sucks. Which sucks because over the past couple years, which sucks because over the past year and a half, Triple H has really been trying to make that cruiserweight championship mean something. He's really been trying to make that cruiserweight championship in that division mean something, and now they just released Now they just released a whole lot of talent, so it sucks for them. But the name that pisses me off the most is Tyler Breeze. The fact that Tyler Breeze got released is the one that pisses me off the most. Look, Joseph, you know how I feel about Tyler Breeze. I think the man is great, and I think he's a diamond in the rough waiting to happen. The fact that Tyler Breeze, who was one of the, I consider Tyler Breeze to be one of the founding fathers of NXT, especially 2013, 2014. Tyler Breeze, I consider him to be one of their founding fathers. Killed it in every single takeover match he was in. The guy killed it, whether it be against Sami Zayn, the Fatal 4-Way match, which is the greatest Fatal 4-Way match in WWE history. His matches with Apollo and Balor. Every single takeover match, the guy kills. Every single takeover match, the guy kills it. He gets put in a tag team with he gets called up to the main roster. They proceed to do jack shit with him. Then they put him in a tag team with Fandango. You know my thoughts on Fandango. I'm not a fan of the Fandango character. But Breezango were a very entertaining team. They had a chemistry about them that were very entertaining. And on the main roster, they did not do shit with them. They were comedy characters. And they got moved on to NXT. They were made a bit more serious for a while. Then they kind of took the focus off them. And just when it looked like their tag team division was really starting to beef back up again, Breezango could have been a great piece of that. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. So the NXT releases, they absolutely suck. And I hope everybody involved finds work because I think everybody that was released are very talented guys. I hope they find work, and I hope they're able to make a difference in whatever roster they land, whether that be AEW, Impact, MLW, ROH, wherever they land. I hope they're able to make a difference there and help out whatever promotion they're in because WWE dropped the ball, and I think it's absolutely criminal. And I think it's absolutely criminal, and I think they deserve to have, and I think WWE should be raked over the coals for this. I think it's absolutely criminal that WWE signs talent for the sake of signing talent, and then they have no idea what to do with them, just to keep other promotions from benefiting and to keep other promotions from getting stronger. That pisses me off that they do that. I hope they get raked over the coals for that. But everybody that was released, I'm pulling for them.
It's quite clear that all of this is coming to bite them in the ass. And this was basically started in early 2019 when AEW started to exist, and they were going to go and have a show in Las Vegas, and they were going to be on TNT for weekly television programming. It's quite clear that's when this all started, and it's coming back to bite them in the ass, man. It really is. But I didn't say this on Friday. I'm gonna say it now. I don't think it's a mandatory signing for AEW to do. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, man, as much of a stacked tag team division as they already have, I would not be shocked. Okay, I would not be shocked if we see Tyler Breeze and Fandango on TNT. I'm throwing it out there, man. I wouldn't be shocked, and I think they would be super over in AEW. I really do, man. What do you think?
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And I'm telling you what, man, it might just be me. It might just be me, but a Breeze on. It might just be me, but a Tyler Breeze Fandango best friends feud. That sounds like a lot of fun, man. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think that has a lot. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think that has a lot of comedy potential to it. And you know how big a fan I am. You know how big a fan I am of comedy and wrestling. I think it's great. And in AEW, man, they make a lovely addition to that tag team division down there, because that could be a lot of fun. In particular, Tyler Breeze and Orange Cassidy could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. So I hope they go down there. I hope Mr. Tony Khan picks up the phone and calls them, because that could be a lot of fun.
Hey, man, just pitched it right there. Cameron Johnson, NXT co-host, just pitched Breezango versus Best Friends, and if it happens now, Tony Khan's watching the Big Fight Field channel. So there you go.
Everybody watches this channel. What you mean?
I know. Everybody does. Everybody should. But we are going to get into the show tonight. And I know it was announced later in the show. But, Cameron, in 2 weeks, the breakout tournament is starting. And the last breakout tournament, we saw Cameron Grimes, Swerve Scott, Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, all of these guys. What do you think of this tournament, man? I'm quite thrilled about it. I'm excited to see what fresh faces we're going to see in NXT.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that they're doing the breakout tournament in 2 weeks. That they're doing the breakout tournament in 2 weeks. They're NXT. They're really not going to have a choice, because I expect half their talent roster to be decimated anyway whenever the WWE draft comes. So them doing the breakout tournament and introducing some new names that they signed at the Performance Center and that we haven't seen. I think this is a great idea. I think this is a great idea. Them doing it on TV is great. Them doing it on TV is great. So I love the fact that they're doing the breakout tournament. I hope we get one. And I hope we get one for the women too, because they have a lot of very talented women down there that they've signed. But they're just not using right now. So that they're just not using right now. So I hope we get a female version too. But this breakout tournament sounds great. It sounds great, and hopefully we finally get the debut of Parker Bardot in this damn tournament.
Oh, I think that could happen. That's not bad. I mean, I really don't know who could be in this tournament. We saw, I think Carmelo Hayes, he could probably be in this tournament. Who was the one guy that challenged Kushida a couple weeks ago? Wasn't his name like Max Baxter or something like that? Trey Baxter. I could see him being in it, and we'll have to see who else is going to be in this tournament as well. But I will obviously be talking about that every Tuesday night, starting July 13th. But we started tonight's show with a women's tag team triple threat match with Io Shirai, Zoe Stark, Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. The amount of talented women in this ring at the same time is just ridiculous, man. And when you have such talented women like this, they're going to go out there and they are going to steal the show. That's exactly what they did, I thought, in my opinion. This was an awesome match, an awesome opener. Bunch of high spots to be in the first couple minutes of this match. Then we get a commercial break, slow the pace down. And then at the end, everybody hits their finisher. You got Raquel, Zoe Stark, Ember Moon hits an Eclipse on Zoe Stark, which is sold very nicely. Dakota Kai does her kick. I'm not sure what the name of it is. And then
GTK.
What's that?
The GTK. The go to kick.
GTK. And then Io Shirai gets her move on Dakota Kai, the top rope moonsault, and Shirai and Zoe Stark punch their ticket to the Great American Bash next week, as they will be getting a tag team title match against The Way, hey, man, I'm just happy it's not Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. That's all I got to say. But this was an awesome match. Awesome match. I loved it. And I don't. We'll talk about it later because we're gonna do brief predictions after this. But I thought this was an awesome match. I really did.
Pretty good. I thought it was a good match to open the show. I thought it was a bit clunky in some spots, but I thought this was a good match to open the show. And I thought it was a good match to open the show. And I thought going into this match that if they were ready, that if they were ready to do the turn with Raquel and Dakota, that Raquel and Dakota would win. But that obviously did not happen. Io and Zoe won. But that obviously did not happen. Io and Zoe won. So, yeah, Io and Zoe are the number one contenders for the tag team titles. And thank God it's not Shotzi and Ember again, because I'm sick to death of that match. And I seriously thought they were going to win. But yeah, Io and Zoe get the win here. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we're going to talk about that later on in the video. Next, we had a very short segment. We had Karrion Kross walking out to the ring after Johnny Gargano and him got in a pull apart brawl backstage. And Kross was like, "This week I won up to you. This week, last week I won up to you. This week you won up to me." And he said, "I dare you to come out here." And then Gargano was like, "Oh, you dare me?" Says the person that attacked me from behind last week. So slowly but surely, Johnny Gargano was turning into a babyface once again in NXT. And then we have Austin Theory giving Karrion Kross a sneak attack. Kross fights off both of them, throws Johnny Gargano against the barricade, and then he goes to slam the steel steps on the Gargano before a bunch of security and Samoa Joe come down. We get an intense stare down between Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross. And then a whole bunch of security is holding Kross back. And Johnny Gargano gives Kross a super kick and runs away. So that was it for that segment. And then later in the night, Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux are about to leave. And Johnny Gargano comes up from behind. Johnny Gargano comes up from behind and attacks Karrion Kross along with Austin Theory. Kross easily fights off Theory, but then Gargano gets a hold of Kross. He slams the car door onto Kross 3 times, and then Gargano's talking to the camera. You see Kross in the background rising up, standing up behind Johnny Gargano, and he puts him into the Kross jacket, and Karrion Kross takes out Johnny Gargano. I thought that was cool, seeing him stand up in the picture on the outside. I thought that was very cool, and I'm shocked we're not getting this match next week, man. I'm a little bit shocked for that. I'm guessing we're gonna get that on a NXT regular in a couple weeks, and when that match happens, I expect this to be a domination, like we said last week. I expect Karrion Kross to go in there and absolutely dominate Johnny Gargano in this NXT Championship match. So, what do you think about all of this, man?
I'm in agreement with you, man. I'm in agreement with you. Johnny Gargano dies. Whenever that match happens, Johnny Gargano dies. So, I hope he's got, I hope Candice LeRae has the funeral prepared for him and everything. Because in a couple weeks, whenever this match happens, he dies. I thought the segment was fine. But once again, that damn parking lot, man. That damn parking lot, man. It's always the damn parking lot in NXT, bro. The most unsafe place. And the most unsafe place in the world is that damn NXT parking lot, man. They got to do something about that. They got to do something about that damn parking lot. But yeah, I thought this segment was fine. Sets up Kross versus Gargano. Sets up Gargano and Kross whenever it happens. I'm shocked we're not getting it next week. But whenever that match happens, Johnny Gargano dies. So, yeah.
Listen, man. Once I get down there, okay, and I'm seeing them every week, I will make sure the parking lot is nice and safe. All right.
Y'all, be careful, man. I can't have Joseph going into the NXT parking lot, man. Nah, bro, don't take your ass in that park. I can't have Joseph going down there in that parking lot, man. I care about you, man. You're my friend. I can't have you going down there to that parking lot, bro.
Oh man, we'll have to see. But yeah, man, the NXT parking lot is unsafe. You know what else is um not unsafe? And they're running things in NXT now. This new faction called Diamond Mind, as we had Roderick Strong in action. I did not get the name of the opponent that he faced, but Roddy looked good in this match. He got the win in 6 minutes. The submission hold he had did not. I was not impressed by that much. But after the match, uh, Malcolm Bivens gets up on the microphone and he says, Diamond Mind is now opened for business. So just like the Hurt Business is open for business, so is now Diamond Mind. And do you think with these 205 Live releases, do you think this ruined plans that Triple H had for this Diamond Mine faction? Like we could have seen Marina Shafir in this faction. We could have seen Kurt Stallion, maybe Arturo Ruas. Did you think those releases kind of ruined plans for Diamond Mine?
Absolutely. I think they did ruin. Absolutely, I think they did ruin plans for Diamond Mine because I think Marina Shafir, who has the MMA background, and Arturo Ruas, who is the I think he's the Brazilian. I think he's like the Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy that was down there in NXT. I think they would have been in this faction like a glove. Especially this, especially since the sense I'm getting from this faction is this faction is going to be about faction. This faction is going to be a faction that's all about hurting people and going in there and beating the crap out of people. I think they would have fit. I think they would have fit perfectly in this faction. So I do think it. So I do think it kind of. So I do think it did mess. So I do think it did mess up Triple H's plans. For in terms of the actual match, I thought the match was fine. In terms of the actual match, I thought the match was fine. But that submission hold Roddy has, no, we can't use that. We got to change that finish. We got to change it. We got to change it. I said give him the stronghold. They want to give him a submission finish. Fine, give him the stronghold and have him use the stronghold as the submission finish. And if you don't know what the stronghold is, that's the lion tamer that Jericho does. That's the lion tamer that Jericho does. That's what the stronghold is, and they just let them use the stronghold because this submission finish ain't it.
Yeah, maybe they'll change it. I'm not sure, but no, we did not see any sight of Kushida tonight, so I expect that to maybe be built over the next few weeks in NXT. Maybe that's a takeover match, Roddy and Kushida. We build that to the next takeover. We're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. But next we had good old Cameron Grimes to the moon go one-on-one with Air Sterling, and it was not really about the match as Grimes got the win over Sterling in about 6 minutes with the cave-in. After the match, LA Knight presented himself and he said, all I see while looking at you is a loser. That's all you've been since NXT TakeOver, and now I dropped your old man Ted DiBiase. And Cameron Grimes took this personally. He's like, you want to talk about Ted DiBiase? Come stand in the ring right now, and we'll talk about Ted DiBiase. But then LA Knight did not take that. He did not take that. He did not take that lightly. But he stood on the ramp on the stage and talked about how he is the new $1 million man. He's got the belt. He's got everything. He's rich, and Cameron Grimes is like, I want that belt back. And how about we do this next week? And then at first, LA Knight is like, yeah, and Cameron Grimes is like, yeah, and they both say it at the same time. So their chemistry together on the microphone is very, very good, and I really like it. I really like them together in these type of segments. And then LA Knight says he declines it, but he says, you know what? Let me take that back. I know I'm the greatest thing here, I think is what he said, and I am the $1 million man with the title. There is one more thing missing, and I will give you a shot at the $1 million title, Cameron, but next week, if you lose, you become my butler. So, very, very interesting stipulation. And we'll talk about what we think is going to happen at the end of this review. But good back and forth between Grimes and Knight. And, I thought their match at TakeOver was pretty good, the ladder match. And I'm excited to see how this one ends up, too. I'm pretty sure I know how it's going to go. But it should be a good match anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, man. I thought this segment was. I thought this segment was really good. LA Knight with the $1 million championship fits like a glove. He fits like an absolute glove with this role. He fits like an absolute glove in this role. It's easy to hate him. It's easy to hate him on the mic. LA Knight or Eli Drake as I call him. Or Eli Drake as I call him. Eli Drake is absolutely great on the mic. Eli Drake is always. And his promos have always been a strong suit of his. Even going back to his days with Impact in the NWA, his promos about his strong suit, his strong suit has always been on the microphone. So Eli Drake has been absolutely great. Eli Drake has been great. Cameron Grimes has been absolutely fantastic in this role. And the match next week, spoiler alert for the predictions, Grimes is becoming a butler. Cameron Grimes is becoming a butler next week. And, Grimes is becoming a butler next week. And what happens with Grimes and the butler, we'll talk about that when we do the predictions later. We'll talk about that when we do the predictions later on. But yeah, Cameron Grimes is becoming a butler next week. This is a way to extend the storyline until Cameron Grimes takes that $1 million championship. Because Grimes has taken the $1 million title off LA Knight. But not right now, though, because LA Knight has been absolute gold. LA Knight has been great in this role so
far. This was my favorite thing. I thought this segment was fantastic. We had a face-to-face with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. And Kyle O'Reilly really did not say much in this segment. And it was Adam Cole who interrupted Kyle. And Samoa Joe came out right during Adam Cole's entrance. And he's like, I'm just here to make sure that there's no fighting a week before the big match, but you guys can say whatever you want. So you know what? The floor is yours. So that's what Joe says. And then Adam Cole gets in Kyle's face and he's like, you know what, Kyle? Since we've came here in NXT and since all of this has happened, you're obsessed with me, and it kind of creeps me out a little bit. And then Kyle O'Reilly talks about Cole not mentioning his name and the violent match they had at Stand and Deliver, which was a top 5 favorite match for me this year. That match, he talks about the Undisputed Era and how Adam Cole was always the star in Undisputed Era. And Kyle O'Reilly was just a carrier. No, Kyle... Excuse me right now. Thank you. But Kyle O'Reilly was just a follower in the Undisputed Era, and he wasn't really with Adam Cole. And because Adam Cole did all the work. But then Kyle was like, to think that I was with 4 years, and I associated with you for 4 years, makes me pissed off. He was very mad about being with Adam Cole for 4 years. He's going to be like, next week, I'm going to prove to you once again, Adam, that I never needed you and that I'm better and that I'm not obsessed with you or anything. And then Adam Cole says that he's carried Kyle O'Reilly and he knows it. Everybody in the back knows it, whether he wants to admit it or not. Samoa Joe knows it. And then he said, Kyle, even your wife knows it. Adam Cole went deep there, man. You don't mention another man's wife, let me tell you. You just don't do that, man. So Adam Cole made it personal, and Kyle O'Reilly wanted to brawl with him. Samoa Joe got in the way. Adam Cole ducked Samoa Joe, and Kyle O'Reilly put Adam Cole in the heel hook. Samoa Joe stood there and watched. Adam Cole was like, Joe, get him off of me, Joe. What's he doing? Joe, get him off of me. Samoa Joe, he stood there and he walked away. That was amazing. That part right there was amazing. Samoa Joe in this new enforcer role, man, he's doing a great job so far, and I'm really enjoying it, man. That part right there took the segment from a B plus to this segment took that part took this segment from an A minus to an A. I really thought this was a fantastic segment, man. I loved it.
I'm in agreement, man. I'm in agreement. I thought this segment was great. I thought this segment was great. But quite frankly, once Adam Cole mentioned Kyle O'Reilly's wife, Kyle O'Reilly should have came back at him with a comment about Britt Baker, and then he should have came back with a comment about Britt Baker. That's just me though. But I thought this segment was great, and Samoa Joe just sitting there not doing a damn thing. Joe just sitting there not doing a damn thing was so entertaining. It was so entertaining, and it was very entertaining. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. This match is going to be a bang. Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. This match is going to be a banger. These two guys have amazing chemistry together, and I cannot wait for that match. And for Samoa Joe, on the other hand, I hope we get Samoa Joe back in the ring because Joe and Adam Cole is a match. Because Joe and Adam Cole. Is a money match waiting to happen. That's a money match and a money feud waiting to happen. But I thought this segment was great, and everybody played their role well. Shout out to you, Samoa Joe, for being so damn entertaining. So,
hey, man, listen. So there's been a bunch of matches teased ever since Samoa Joe came back. We've obviously seen the instance with him and Karrion Kross on the first time he came back. We've had this one with Adam Cole and Samoa Joe not helping Adam Cole get out of the heel hook. And then backstage twice, Pete Dunne got a face-to-face with Samoa Joe. So there you go. That's 3 matches teased with Samoa Joe, and I think all of them would be classics, man. I would want to see. I would want to see every single one of them, and he's gonna hopefully have a takeover match sooner rather than later, man, because we need to see Samoa Joe in the ring in NXT.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We need to see Samoa Joe back battling.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna move on from this awesome segment to Xia Li and Boa versus Jake Gatlas and Mercedes Martinez. Now, I will admit, I did not watch most of this match when it came on, but I did see the ending. I turned NXT back on right before the ending, and Xia Li gave Mercedes Martinez a spinning wheel kick, which her foot hit Mercedes Martinez in her back left ear. She dropped right on her head, man, and her head was up like this while she was in the cover, and she slowly rolled over and kicked out, but then the referee realized that she was knocked out, and the ref called for the bell. So, hopefully Mercedes Martinez is okay, man. Hopefully she's not concussed. She very well could be. I'm not sure. Hopefully not. But that was pretty scary to watch, man. And I really didn't get anything else out of that, but. The big thing is that we just hope that Mercedes Martinez is okay after that, because that was scary. So.
Yeah, That was scary. That was very scary. That was very scary. Sean Rossap tweeted out that Mercedes Martinez was checked in. That she was checked in the back, and talent and staff of NXT were told that Mercedes Martinez is headed to the hospital for further evaluation. So that is the latest update on Mercedes Martinez from Sean Rossap of Fightful. I hope Mercedes Martinez is okay. That was an absolutely I hope Mercedes Martinez is okay. That was an absolutely dangerous spot. That was that was absolutely devastating. I hope she's okay, and I hope this doesn't stunt whatever push. And I hope this doesn't stunt whatever push Xia Li is getting. Accidents happen. Accidents happen. I hope Mercedes Martinez is okay. So yeah, but in terms of the actual match, in terms of the actual match, I showed you the video. As soon as I saw Jake Atlas on the television set, I turned on American Dad, and it was like I can't do it. And for those, I turned on American Dad because I just couldn't do it. Shout out to American Dad though. Seth MacFarlane is a TV genius. But yeah. When Jake Atlas was on the TV, American Dad got cut on, and I turned it back and saw that absolutely devastating kick. But yeah. I hope Mercedes Martinez is okay.
I don't think Triple H is going to punish Xia Li. Why should he? Like you said, accidents happen in professional wrestling, and that's just not even in wrestling. That's just life. That accidents happen all the time, and he's been invested in what Xia Li has been doing for months now. So over an accident, why would he go and punish somebody that he's trying to push right now? I don't think that doesn't make sense at all to me. But her Mercedes Martinez being checked at a hospital doesn't sound good, man. Hopefully she's okay, and hopefully we see her back on NXT television pretty soon, because that really did look bad. But before the main event, we had a short face-to-face. This was basically 3 minutes where Tommaso Ciampa and Toothless Timmy going face-to-face with MSK. They both, all four of them had chairs to sit and talk to each other. And the back and forth was great. I really liked this. It was good. And I'm sold. Like, they sold you on this little segment in 3 minutes, and I love that. AEW did the exact same thing when it came to Lance Archer and Miro at Double or Nothing. Now, the match did not turn out to be great, but they sold me on that match with short segments just like this one. And we had Ciampa holding back Thatcher from attacking MSK, and saying this week we let you slide, but next week it's going to be a rough one for you young boys. And he was talking about how the champions are the underdogs in this one. So I like the story that they told, and I really think this is going to be an awesome tag team match.
I'm in agreement with you, man. I think this segment was great. You know how I feel about Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher, man. They're my favorite tag team. You know how I feel about them. They're my favorite tag team in all of WWE right now. In all of WWE right now. So Ciampa and Thatcher are great. MSK were great. The match itself is going to be great, and I like how NXT has done a good job of keeping this match unpredictable. Any of these two teams could realistically walk out with the NXT tag team titles. And that's, could walk out with the NXT tag team titles, and that's great. That's great. And, that's great. Also, the more Timothy Thatcher we see on TV, I think the better. So I thought this segment was great, and really got you hyped for that NXT tag team title match.
Yeah, do you like this dynamic better than the RK Bro dynamic on Raw?
No, not really. Because RK Bro, RK Bro is just very entertaining. Matt Riddle is very entertaining. RK Bro reminds me of the it reminds me of the Matt Riddle Pete Dunne dynamic. Oh yeah, Pete Dunne, we have Pete Dunne who's serious all the time. You have Matt Riddle who's just a complete goofball. You have Matt Riddle who's a complete goofball all the time. You put the two together, boom, you have magic there. So with RK, I like the RK Bro dynamic a bit better. I like the RK Bro dynamic a bit. So, but no, I like the RK Bro dynamic better.
Yeah. Folks, we're going to get into Great American Bash right after this main event. And we got a lot to talk about. And when it comes to this main event, we have Isaiah Swerve Scott and Bronson Reed for the North American Championship tonight. Really good match. You had all members of Hit Row on the outside supporting Swerve. And we're going to get to the end of the match here. We have all the members of Hit Row starting to get involved. Bronson Reed was going for the Tsunami Splash, and AJ Francis, Top Dollar, was there to interrupt him. Ashanti Diadamas then pushed Bronson Reed off the top rope, landed on his back. Then Top Dollar, he set up to run Bronson Reed through the barricade, where Bronson Reed, on that behalf, he sidestepped and he sent Top Dollar going through the barricade. That was a sick spot, man. That was a great freaking spot right there. And then Bronson Reed dumps Ashanti over him. Then Bronson Reed gets back into the ring, and he eats a Swerve's house, kicked right to the face. Swerve then hits a 450 right onto Bronson Reed's back. And do you believe it, folks? Isaiah Swerve Scott is the new NXT North American Champion. Triple H and NXT, they went with the hot hand in the new faction, Isaiah Scott and Hit Row. Love those guys, man. Very happy that they have a piece of gold. They have the North American Championship courtesy of their leader, Isaiah Swerve Scott. So this is great. This is great for them. Swerve has changed drastically. Being in this new faction of Hit Row. But actually, you know what? Let's talk about just the match first. We'll talk about the obvious after that. But the match. What'd you think of the match? Swerve Scott's the new North American champion. Your thoughts, Mr. Johnson?
I thought the match itself was really good. I thought this is a really good match. I thought this is a really good match. I enjoyed it a lot. There was a spot. That was an absolute. That was a spot in this match I love where Bronson Reed, he basically got tired of Hit Row shit. And then Reed got tired of Hit Row shit, so he was trying to take out Hit Row. And AJ Francis came AJ Francis or Top Dollar came running at Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed moved. And Bronson Reed moved, and Top Dollar went right through the barricade. I thought that spot was awesome. That spot made me go, "Oh shit!" That spot made me go. That spot made me go, "Oh shit!" I thought that spot was awesome. But I thought this match was a lot of fun. I thought this match was a lot of fun. I liked Bronson Reed getting tired of Hit Row shit, so he tried to get involved. And at the end of the day, the heel faction does what the heel faction does. It helps out, it helps the leader get the 1, 2, 3. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Bronson Reed got distracted by Hit Row's antics. Reed tried to go back in the ring to take care of Scott. Scott hit him with the swerve kick, and then hit him with that 450 splash to win the North American Championship. So Isaiah Swerve Scott got some gold in WWE. It's about time they gave my man some gold. But Hit Row is it's about time they gave this man some gold. But they went with the hot hand right now. I can't be mad at that. Hit Row's the hot hand right now. Hit Row's the best thing. I think Hit Row's one of the best things in all of NXT. They went with the hot hand. You can never be mad at them going with the hot hand. So, yeah, Hit Row wins, and there you go. Now, I think it was maybe a bit too early to see Swerve win, but At the end of the day, they got the championship on Swerve. That's all that matters. The championship is on Swerve. That's all that matters to me at the end of the day.
Yeah, we both said that the correct guy to take the title off of Bronson Reed was Isaiah Swerve Scott. Whether that would happen in the summer, in August at the next takeover, or at the end of the year, we did not think it was going to happen this soon. We did not think that Bronson Reed was set up to be a transitional champion, and that's what it's looking like for. That's what it looks like for poor Bronson Reed. And I say poor Bronson Reed because if you guys do not read reports, Bronson Reed has been on tryout matches for the past 2 weeks, I think, on Raw and SmackDown. I think he wrestled in a dark match on SmackDown. I can't remember who it was against. I'll have to go back and. Was that?
He wrestled Bobby Roode in a dark match on SmackDown, and then he wrestled Drew Gulak on main event. I think it was Drew Gulak.
Oh yeah, he did wrestle Drew Gulak. You're right. He did wrestle Drew Gulak, but I get your thoughts and prayers ready for Bronson Reed, folks. Bronson Reed is now going to be in the hands of Bruce Pritchard, and more than likely, WWE did not confirm it, but Andrew Zarian has said it multiple times, and he's been very reliable lately. Andrew Zarian of the Madman Podcast. Go ahead and check out their podcast if you have not already. Be sure to go subscribe to their channel, like those guys over there. But it seems very clear that Bronson Reed is going to be in this upcoming draft, and I'm not feeling too good about this one, man. I think he's going to end up – I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I think he's going to end up exactly like Keith Lee. Watch. I'm telling you, folks, you watch, and then you come back here and you tell me I was right. I don't want to be right. Trust me, I want to be wrong about this. I want Bronson Reed to be pushed because he's a great wrestler. But on the main roster, they are not pro wrestling. They are sports entertainment. So who knows what he's going to be doing up there. But I don't know, Cam. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to you say your prayers for Bronson Reed. Now, say your prayers for Bronson Reed. Say your prayers for Bronson Reed. And with Reed, it's a weird one because you would think Vince McMahon would look at Bronson Reed and go, this is the guy we want to push, you know. He's not the tallest guy in the world, but he's like 330 pounds. You know how Vince McMahon likes his monsters. But, you know how Vince McMahon likes his monsters. But yet again, I thought the same thing about Keith Lee. And, well, we don't know where Keith Lee is, or wherever Keith Lee is, he's okay. And same thing with Damian Priest. I thought Damian Priest get caught up. Same thing with Damian Priest and Dijakovic. I thought Vince would look at Dominic Dijakovic. You know, the guy's like 6'4", jacked as hell, and in the ring he can move. I thought Vince would have looked at him and go, "Oh shit, we got to put the world title on this guy." Same thing with Damian Priest. Damian Priest is like what? 6'6", 6'7". Damian Priest is a tall guy. So I thought. So I thought he'd look at those two guys and go, man, we got to push these guys. But, Damian Priest was on tour with Bad Bunny, and we don't know where Dominic Dijakovic is right now. So I hope and the fact that the NXT North American champion had to wrestle tryout matches, it ain't looking too good for Mr. Bronson Reed right now. I hope Bronson Reed does well on the main roster. I really hope he does, but I don't think it's gonna work out.
It never works out, dude. I think we said this a couple weeks ago. I said it on one of the Raw reviews. I think it was last week. The last 3 years of NXT call-ups, the only name I can possibly remember having actual success on the main roster who got called up to NXT the last 3 years since 2018 is Matt Riddle. That's the only name I can possibly think of, unless you know any.
I'm trying to think. Who got called up from 2018? Yeah, Riddle. Yeah, Riddle would be the only guy. Yeah, Riddle would be the only guy I would say had success. I guess you could throw Lacey Evans in there, but she sucks. I guess you could throw Lacey Evans in there, even though she sucks. But yeah, Matt Riddle's about it.
I'm trying to think of other names here. Andrade failed. Ricochet failed. Aleister Black failed. Keith Lee failed. Sheesh. Was there any tag teams? I don't. Street Profits.
Oh yeah, the Street Profits. I thought the Street Profits in there as a success. They've had some success. I thought the Street Profits in there as a success. I think they've been the biggest. I think outside of the Usos and New Day, they've been the biggest tag team on the roster. So I thought the Street Profits in there for success.
Yeah. But outside of Matt Riddle and the Street Profits, I really can't think of any other names in there, man. I really can't. And that goes with bad news for Bronson Reed. Now, we are not done here, folks. We are going to talk about next week's lineup for Great American Bash. Give out brief predictions here. We got 4 matches confirmed for the show. Io Shirai and Zoe Stark versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell for the Women's Tag Team Championships of NXT. I'm going with the way to retain. I think it'll be a good match, but I'm going with Candice and Indy.
Same here. I think the way retain, and I think Frankie Monet, Taya Valkyrie. I think Taya Castillo the tag team titles next week.
Yeah, we could be heading into a feud with Io Shirai and Taya Valkyrie just to give Io something to do. So we'll have to see, man. But we're both going with the way. You said your pick earlier here. Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight. If Cameron Grimes loses, he is going to become LA Knight's butler. You're going with LA Knight?
Yeah, I'm going with. I think the way the storyline goes is I think LA Knight wins, which leads to Ted DiBiase whenever Ted DiBiase, which leads to DiBiase whenever DiBiase comes back, or if he comes back. I think that leads to DiBiase returning, buying Cameron Grimes out from LA Knight, and I think that's where they do the big. And I think they do the big title change at Takeover. Whenever the next Takeover is between Knight and Grimes, I think that's the way that goes.
Yeah, I agree. I think LA Knight is going to win. I don't think it's going to be a clean win, though. I think it's going to be a ref bump, I think it'll have a ref bump, maybe like a low blow or foot on the rope, whatever. I don't think LA Knight is going to beat Grimes clean. I don't think you should be beating Cameron Grimes clean right now. So I'm gonna go with LA Knight winning and retaining the $1 million title by any means necessary. And when I mean that, I'm going with some heel shenanigans. So we're going to go with LA Knight. Tag Team Championships. Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher versus MSK. This is a tough one. I want to hear what you have to say first. This is tough for me.
I think MSK retained the tag team titles over Ciampa and Thatcher. I think MSK retain, but thing is with MSK, I don't know who they dropped the titles to. I think they dropped the titles to the Grizzly Young Veterans, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure I'm not sure, but I think MSK retains the tag team titles next week.
This is tough. You know what? I would not be surprised if Ciampa and Thatcher would win the titles, and I don't know when the Grizzled Young Veterans are going to win them. So you can have them continue their feud or resume their feud, and this time have them be for the tag team championship. So I'm going to go different here. There wasn't a title change at a TakeOver, and I think there should be at least one title change here. So I'm going to go with Ciampa and Thatcher to win the tag team titles. And then what I presume to be the main event of Great American Bash, we got Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly 2 in a straight-up singles match. I expect this to be the best match on that entire show, the match I'm looking forward to the most. And I expect Adam Cole to tie things up at 1-1. So I'm going with Adam Cole to win.
I am too. I am too. I think Adam Cole wins. I think Adam Cole wins. They tie up 1-1, and I think that leads to the obvious rubber match at the next Takeover show. So I think that leads to the obvious rubber match at the next Takeover show. But I think Adam Cole gets the win next week over Kyle O'Reilly. Or it should be the best match on the entire show.
Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the NXT review here tonight on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe here on the Big Fight Field channel for some more content this week. And for the month of July, since it is going to be a crazy month for July in professional wrestling, that means you are going to want to be subscribed to the Big Fight Field channel, man. Make sure you do that. Comment down below your thoughts about tonight's NXT episode. I thought which was a very good show. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from myself and Cameron Johnson here on the channel. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Conlon_Joseph. And my friend, where can they follow you on your socials?
Follow me on Twitter at Cam71101 and make sure you subscribe to the CNE podcast, available on all platforms, especially YouTube. And either this week or next week, the CNE podcast has an interview with one of the all-time great females in WWE history. Stacy Keibler joins the CNE podcast. You are not going to want to miss that. Or you are not going to want to miss that interview when it goes up. So either this week or next week, the Stacy Keibler interview will be up. And make sure you subscribe to CNE Podcast on all platforms.
Going to be interesting to hear that one. I will definitely be listening. But ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week when we talk about Great American Bash. And I will see you here with Wesley Williams tomorrow night to talk about AEW Dynamite, the last Dynamite in Daly's Place, man. And then we are going back on the road. Should be a good one. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy, man.